What's the best way? Like, if you think about science, how do you study something? I mean, you might isolate it first and look at it under a microscope and remove everything else out of around it and just focus in on that thing individually. And then you might look at it as it's how it affects everything in the world around it. So when we understand our consciousness, we're studying consciousness from everything out in the world around us in our day-to-day life. But if you go into a dark room, if you go into, say, like the king's chamber of the pyramid, or you go into the holy of holies of the temple, and you remove every external source and all you have left is that consciousness, then you have isolated consciousness and you are going to start studying it. And anybody who's been in one of those dark rooms, I know I sadly, when John took us into the king's chamber for 2 hours, it was like 6 a.m. I fell asleep. That's the darkest darkness that you've ever been. It's like shutting the curtains at a hotel. It is the blackest blackness that ever, like, it is so dark. And I wanted to stay awake for the tours, fell asleep. But my lady, Kristen, started to have those little flurries of color that you start to, the people talk about, that when you're all of a sudden in the darkness and you have no more external input, your brain starts kind of coming up with these colors, and all of a sudden you're going to start having visions and you're going to start seeing things. And that is how you study consciousness, is by isolating it into in a dark room. And they understood how to study that stuff. And not that, they understood how to refine the physiology of the body to amplify those states of consciousness. And so I don't care how old the Sphinx is. I don't care how old the pyramids are. I don't care if there was some other civilization, because it all comes down to the same question, is like, what did they know? How did they know what they were doing? And how can that be applied to today? If you just come at me and say it was some lost advanced civilization and they live in the Amazon now because it's this wild goose chase going all over the planet looking for them, that doesn't move the needle at all. It doesn't. We're still back in the same place where people just speak romantically and pay lip service to ascended levels of consciousness and being a light being and being this romantic spiritualist. But there's no meat on that bone. There's nothing to show how do you achieve these states.